Hey, remember this guy? He needs some socks. Hey, thanks for joining us on YouTube. What are you doing here? Across the land, and my stick is shorter than. So the first thing we want to do is making this pattern for the sock. Is my character is going to have the socks up to here, and so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to draw this shape out. I'm going to draw this section here, which will look like this, and I'm going to draw the section here, and then I'm going to draw it out so that it looks like this, so that I have the shape that I want. What I want to do is make it a little bit larger, and so what I did was I drew this onto another thicker piece of cardboard, and as you can see I made it a little bit longer here. I need to get up the leg a little higher, and by drawing it onto this cardboard it made it a little bit bigger, which I want. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this wood glue, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it all the way around the edge and then let that dry. So here's the glue all the way around, and just want to let that dry now. I'm going to fill you in on a secret. You know how like when you're using this glue and then what you're doing is you're mopping it up with your finger and the glue like gets stuck under your hands? Well, you can take, like here's some of the glue, and it's almost like a Play-Doh. If you have any of these that do not fill in, you can actually take this glue, right, and shove it into the hole to fill it in, and then go ahead and put a little bit of wet glue over it so that everything is consistently filled in. Just a little tip I thought I'd let you know. It's an old trick I learned a long time ago. Okay, let me just stop for a second. After you get through putting the glue on, what you're going to want to do is take some sandpaper and lightly sand around the edges just to make it smooth, because if you don't, what will happen is just make sure it's smooth on all edges of it, this edge, and of course the edge that faces out. If you do not, what will happen is the glue will tend to snag the fabric, so you don't want to do that. So this is a type of material. This is like what they use for blouses and things. I don't remember what it's called. See how it's stretchy this way, and it's a little bit stretchy this way. What I'm going to be doing is making sure if I get the thread off, is I'm going to be putting the fabric around this part. Is to give you an idea, this is the fabric, and underneath it I have the pattern that I've made, and what I've done is I folded over, and like I said, there's the other one, the template I'm going off of. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm making a stitch here, and I'm making a stitch here, and the low points are here with the lowest part. I sewed from right here, and I brought it all the way up to the top. Now that I've sewn, and I've sewn exactly the way I've sewn before, we're just going in and out, in and out. I pulled it not real tight, but just, you know, as you can see how it has a little bit of a play to it, and it's the same on both sides. Okay, so here's what it looks like so far. Here's one of my original knots that I put in. You can see this was up against the ankle right there. The next knot I had was right in here, and then I had one up here at the top. I sewed up this way, then I sewed down to this area, sewed all the way down, and now I'm ready to cut this literally about a 1/4 of an inch away from this, and I'm actually going to leave this top part still, but I'm going to go ahead and cut that part. Okay, so here's what that looks like once it is cut. Now I've actually folded the material back a 1/2 inch. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue. My fingers are a little bit dry, so the material is sticking to my fingers. So what I'm going to do is actually sew down in the same fashion, down to here. Sew this 1/2 inch down. And then, because what you can do, because this is a stretchy material, so I really don't have to worry about using an elastic thread, which I was going to use. And if you're using a material that is not stretchable, there is this. This is actually a elastic thread. It's German. It's Gutermann, and it is actually elastic thread, so that you can stretch it. So you just sew with it, kind of whip sew with it, or sew in and out like what I've been doing, and it actually has a stretch to it. But I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to go ahead and just sew this. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like now. You can see that I have sewed the material down backwards. It is all 4 pieces of the material. These 2 original, and then when I folded them over, those 2 plus these 2. And brought it around and went back and forth several times, 3-4 times, to end it so that it doesn't fray. And now we're ready for the next part. Okay, so here's what the socks look like on. You can see the tucking under, and they fit. You can actually make them not come so far out, leave a little bit in. The shoes are going to cover those on my character. Here's the back part. You can see the stitching. So that's what they look like on him. So that's pretty much it for this segment. So if you like what you saw today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave comments below. And thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.